See if we get notifications. We're doing morning coffee live. Here's the echo. Get some people in here and then we'll start talking about nothing. Get some people. About time. Oh man. I'm wearing a flannel shirt and I'm in South Georgia. What's up with that? What's up with that? All right. Alright, we'll do some shout outs here. Let's see. Daniel Adami. Good morning. That's how you enter a chat. Not first, right? Even though you are technically first. Jason Perry, Next Gen, Pale Rider TV, Trucker Bandit. Adam Gallagher, Right Lane, Brian Garner, Spooby, Jonathan Wheeler, Grafton. Next Gen, nothing is always good. Sorry, Mr. Call. Yeah, I think I saw you posting on Instagram, you shooting, so I guess you were home, so. Great Honesty, good morning. GNC Family Trucking, how's it going? Pale Rider TV. Turkey, oh yeah, Provost Motorsports. Yeah, I guess my cooking videos are doing fairly well. And so I put up one yesterday. And Pale Rider texted me today and he was like, hey, your comments are turned off. So I went to YouTube Studio and I guess I had clicked it that it was meant for kids. I'm like, and when you do that, they disable comments. So I had to fix that. And so you should be able to comment. So those of you who watched the turkey cooking video and wanted to comment, now you can. Because if that's real important to you, you can. And I appreciate you, I appreciate you, Pale Rider, for bringing that to my attention. Because I was like, man, I uploaded that last night, and not one person's commented on it. And I guess in the keto group on Facebook, it's done pretty good. Cool, right? I've got another video about how to. Jeffrey Like just went live, so Jeffrey Like, if you're interested in what the spot market's doing, head over there, and if you're not interested, you can stay over here. So anyways, I got a video coming out on how to deal with sweet cravings. I know that's a problem with a lot of people that I talk to, and yeah, my Facebook's just going crazy. And Right Lane says, I know the spot market sucks now. Yeah, Sammy did a video. It was yesterday. Yeah, yesterday, and he was talking about it. Of course, I went to Florida, and it took me a minute to get a load that I liked. And, the way you have to do Florida is this. Number one, don't go any deeper than Tampa or Orlando. Well, let me rephrase that. This is how I handle Florida. You can handle Florida however you want. And the way I deal with it is I look at the load going down, and then I look at the load coming up. And I do all miles. What was that rate? All miles. And Florida has been kind of a soft market as far as backhaul stuff. South Georgia is about the best place you can get. And if you want to go northeast from Georgia, you can make a pretty good amount of money. Here's the difference. So Uber had loads that were paying almost $2 a mile to come out of Florida back up to Jersey or something like that, or Pennsylvania or Baltimore, but then loads going to like Houston or Fort Worth were paying. There was one load that was literally paying 88 cents a mile. So you can sit there and say, well, why would you take something that cheap? But if you look at the big picture, you look at all your miles. So if you got $4 a mile going into Florida, then getting that 88 cents a mile is not a bad deal if you combine it all together. If it keeps you above north of where you want. But even I won't do an 88-cent mile. Just it's not gonna happen. Especially when I'm only getting 80%, right? So that'd be like what, 50 cents a mile for me? No thanks. That doesn't even cover, people are like, well, cover cost of fuel. No, 50 cents a mile barely does that, right? So you go into South Georgia, so you got to include all your deadhead miles and the deadhead miles, all your miles, all the money, and then look at your rate per mile. And I did fairly well. It brings me to my weekly goal, and I got to enjoy some warmth, even though it's like super cold for Florida and Georgia. But nice flat straight road with a light load, so fuel doesn't cost as much. I'm not in the spot, so I'm staying here. So Spoopy, I appreciate it. If I wanted to know, I'd look at that app. I got $4 going from South Carolina, Marathon, Florida, and the Keys. What'd you get coming out of there though? I mean, is it hard to get loads out of out of the Keys? Don, sup Snore, what was your average gross at Schneider? Per mile or per year? By the way, I didn't just finish this coffee. This is what was left over before I put it in the real cup. My gross on both the mileage per week. Oh man. I would say between 1,500 and 2,000 a week. Well, no, that's not the gross. The gross is about well over 3. I took home about 1,500 to 2,000 a week net after Schneider's deductions. I didn't run that hard at Schneider. That's the thing. I never really gave a Schneider advice like bigrigceo because the majority of the owner ops or lease ops at Schneider they have SFI trucks, Schneider Finance trucks. So their costs are a lot higher than mine. So I did one video where I was talking about staying motivated and being adaptive, and a lot of people called me out and said, oh, you don't know what it's really like because you don't have a Schneider Finance payment. Well, that's on purpose. I didn't want to run like that. Now, bigrigceo just did a really good video on his numbers. I think it was a live feed on what he grossed. And I know Chucky is done pretty good, GNC Family Trucking, and I know that Steve Berger does really well still. So those are the channels, but my numbers were kind of low. But with that being said, if I would have ran like a Schneider Finance guy, probably could have paid this truck off early, but throughout it all, I did a $4,000 repair, got my IRP, and was able to set everything up to go to like trucking, all done with cash with the money I made at Schneider. So there's money to be made there, but my numbers don't really reflect of what you can do. It's all like Coach makes fun of me. It's all about the net. So if you can go to Schneider with a low payment truck, but you work as hard as the Schneider Finance guys, you can do really, really well. It's not reefer. They make real key lime pies down there in air freight. Oh, okay. Don, to me, that's a good way to go. There's advantages, the disadvantages of using Schneider Finance. If it's about control, having your own truck that's not under the Schneider Finance umbrella can be beneficial because you can do whatever you want with it. your costs are lower. I hope. I mean, you can buy a brand new truck and take it to Schneider, and your cost might be about the same, but probably a little bit better. I mean, I was looking at a Volvo yesterday. MHC Kenworth had it for some reason. I guess some of their dealers have Volvo on the other side, right? And it was 147 FET on a 60-month note. It was about 29 and change a month. And this truck here is about 23 if you combine my repairs and payments. So we're not to that level yet. If you did a 72 month, which I don't recommend, it brought the payments down considerably, but now you're paying 7 years on a truck that's meant to last 5. So it'd be hard to trade in and have equity. So I don't recommend a 72 month, but they'll give you a 72 month note, so they can make it on the. But that's 29, that 3,000 is still less than what the Schneider Finance guys pay. And it's up to you to take care of your maintenance. You know, it's up to you to put that money aside. It's up to you to deal with the repairs and everything. Now, if you have a Freightliner Cascadia and it's not a Schneider Finance truck, you might be able to get into their shops at the OCs, but I know that you are low on the totem pole when it comes to the repairs and stuff. So. I've stayed between Dallas and Houston this week, averaging 765 a day to stay warm in Big Orange. There you go, Smoothie. That's how you do it. Great day to you, sir. Hope you're doing well. Thank you, Brian. My truck payment is $1,650. It's an old TMC truck. It's been a good one. Don, are you in South Florida? Is it a black Peterbilt? Because I saw a black. No, that was a Landstar truck. I'm sorry. I saw a black TMC Peterbilt. It was an old hood style. It was a nice truck, and I've heard good things about them TMC trucks. It was very clean, very strict on how the company drivers what they can have in it, and they got to get washed every week. So it's a well-maintained truck, and yeah, that's about the price range you want, because even if you put an extra $1,000 a month away, which I recommend, that still puts you at 26, which is still a little over half of what the Schneider Finance payment is. So, 35 to 4,200 gross should be easy in a region at Schneider, in any region at Schneider. There you go. And so with the Schneider Finance guy, if he grosses 4, he'll probably take home about 2. If you got a payment like yours, Don, you gross 4, you're gonna bring home 3. I averaged about $1,000 in fuel and all the little deductions and stuff like that, which Schneider's not really bad about that. Now the tolls, if you're a newer lease operator or owner operator there, you're probably paying tolls, so that'll factor in. But if you're grandfathered in, then I thought I muted this phone. I'm sorry if that was loud. If you're not grandfathered in, then you just do what you can to avoid the tolls. So 388 2013. That's cool. How many miles are on that thing? Because I looked into buying one of those before I bought this one, and they were wanting like 50-60 grand for trucks that had like 700,000-800,000 miles on it, and I thought that was just a little bit too high. Did you buy it from TMC? Because I know they have their own truck sales. I know they got a place in Joplin there. So it had 523, now I have 668. Well, that's good. Have you had any problems with it? Packard Cummins? A friend of mine's truck shopping, right? And I went over to Peterbilt there in Springfield and got in one of the trucks that he was interested in. I told him I would do this. I said, I was like, hey, man, because he lives all the way up northeast, right? And he's like, hey, I offered. I said, hey, I'll look at these trucks for you, put them on video, upload the video, and And 579s ain't a bad deal, man. I kind of like them. But they all had PACCAR. You know, I watched a video on the history of PACCAR, and it was interesting. You know, I didn't realize that PACCAR came from the train industry. So Cummins, okay, that's good. But if I do, you know, a lot of people were like, well, I had someone email me their experience with the Premium 2000 warranty, and I was looking at the cost of it, and I'll show you guys. Hold on. So I was looking at the Premium 2000 warranty, right? And here's the process. Some of you are curious. Now, there's two ways you can do it. You can call Premium 2000 personally, you know, directly, and you'll talk to a guy who's not very motivated, and he'll kind of give you the runaround, but he'll tell you that you got to get a inspection done at TA or Petro. Now, I don't know what that inspection entails, but the truck, if it's under 1 million miles, it has to pass certain qualifications, right? You can also get it through a Kenworth or Peterbilt dealer, okay? And this is where I got this pamphlet. Now, sales guys are not motivated because they make nothing off of selling these, okay? So just let you know. The shop is a little bit more motivated because they make money, because here's what you have to do. So I looked into this, and what I did is I brought my truck to Kenworth, MHC Kenworth. You know, I was getting, I just had $1,000 repair. I had a bad belt tensioner, and then I had an air dryer, another air tank issue I had to fix. And so you have to get the truck dynoed. Now, those of you who don't know what a dyno is, it's kind of like a stress test on the truck. They put on a thing, and it drives, and they take it through its paces to see if there's anything coming down the line. Because what a lot of people don't realize is that they can plug the truck in and see what's coming down the line. Okay. You know, and you're like, oh, looks like this is not functioning correctly. It looks like this is probably going to go out. So they're trying to foresee what the truck's going to cost. And if there's anything wrong at all, they will not warranty it, right? Or you got to get that fixed. So if you got a $4,000 issue, like an EGR valve or something like that, you have to get that fixed right then and there before you can even qualify for this, right? So the dyno is like, I want to say it was like $450, and you pay for that. And then there's other aspects of the inspection. They inspect the brakes, tires, all the wear and tear stuff, which understandable. They want to see how well you're maintaining that truck. And the total cost of that was going to be between $600 to $700. That's to even see if you can get approved for that warranty. Then they hand you this pamphlet, and here's the prices. For 1 year, 125,000 mile warranty, it's $52.99. For 2 years, 250, it's $77.99. And for 3 and 375, $95.99. Now, if it's guaranteed that it paid for anything that went down, those prices might be worth it. Because if I spent $12,000 last year, which I think was my number in maintenance and repair, which, you know, part of that's maintenance, right? So if you take the actual repair, it's probably closer to $9,000. I'm only saving, now I know that's a weird thing to say, I'm only saving $4,000. However, if I get the 1 year, right? And the 1 year would take me to the end of the truck note, right? And the only way to get this warranty, in my opinion, again, this is my opinion, I'm not an expert, okay, is to get it when you buy the truck. If you got factory warranty left, see if you need it financed, get this added, or this is where I screwed up, know your exact service date of when that warranty runs out. I thought I had a year and 3 months, and I only had 3 months. I did not save up that amount of money. So if you do it at the time of purchase, which I think you can do, I'm not 100% sure, then the truck's already passed. It's already been dynoed. It's already good to go. Or you can negotiate that into the price, and you can kind of see, you know, what's coming online, right? Jeff, I forgot that you go live every morning. I started my live feed, then you started yours, and I told people if they wanted the spot market stuff to go over to you. So I'm not stepping on you. I apologize, sir. Send me one of those hats. Pay the fee, you get a hat. I got this at Matt's. There, Jeff. Oh, you sent them to me, and that's why my numbers are good? And guys, Jeff every morning has been doing these spot market money loads off the 123 low board, and you guys need to pay attention to that if you're running the spot market. Whether you like the 123 low board or not, that's not the discussion. The value of Jeff's video is watch how he works a low board. Watch how his mind works on chasing the money and making the most out of each region that he looks at. That is the genius of Jeffrey Light. And I'm not on the leg. I'm not kissing his butt. But he did that at Schneider. That's why he was called the Godfather of Schneider, because he could take any region at Schneider and make money out of it, even though he kind of ran the same region. But the way he looks at the low board, that's what you have to pay attention to. So Provost has got to load race cars. I hope there's a video on that there, Provost. I hope that. So internal lubricated parts, Steve. What about them? Goes on a treadmill, is hooked up to OBD2 essentially. John Armstrong came from Speed, thank you. But anyways, so now it's a gamble whether or not that's going to save me money or not. So I had a very nice email from a viewer that basically told me their experience with this warranty, and I've talked to people on the positive side of the warranty. It's a gamble, and right now I don't really want to do a $6,000 gamble, because the $5,299 plus the $600 or $700 for the dyno and all the inspections and stuff, not to mention what they would want fixed before they would warranty it. I might as well just keep the money in the bank and just try to save, right? Which is what people should be doing anyways, if you got a used truck or any new truck. You know, I was talking to a Schneider finance guy, and even though he's got full-blown warranty, he still spent like $10,000 on that truck and things that the warranty didn't cover. So warranty is not a cure-all. So and that's the thing. If this was a cure-all, I would do that money in a second. Essentially, it would save me money. You know, one turbo and that it'll pay for that warranty, right? But they're not going to warranty a turbo that they think is getting ready to go out. So, the salesman basically said it's like asking for health insurance with a broken arm, with a pre-existing condition. It makes it a little bit harder, a little bit more expensive. So we're just going to keep on keeping on. I was thinking about refinancing the truck, but I think no, I'm going to keep on keeping on. So 2020 is looking to be decent when it comes to the spot market, I think. It won't be 2018 numbers. A lot of experts are saying that we're looking at a rebound. And this time I don't have my head up my butt, so we'll get to work in. You gotta pay attention to the time here. And I still gotta get fuel, so I gotta give myself plenty of time. And I'm positive. I know last year I was saying that I was expecting January through March to be really bad this year, but the capacity dropped off earlier than I anticipated. And that's why there's an overabundance of trucks for sale, right? Pigtail, what's up? Have you hit the thumbs up button, says Little Viking Coach? I love Little Viking Coach's last video. It was great. Provost and Daniel quit YouTube. They did. So my mistake was not paying attention to my warranty expiration, the factory warranty on this truck. And it caught me off guard, and I thought, well, I'll probably be okay. And for the most part, I have been, knock on wood. You know, if a guy in a brand new Freightliner is spending 10 to 15 grand with a warranty, and I'm about 10 to 15 grand without a warranty, then I'm doing all right. Now, of course, this might be the year the truck's like, yeah, I'm done. Good luck, you know, because that's what my Peterbilt did. And everybody has told me that the warranty is not good for the nickel and dime stuff, you know, and that's usually what costs you, you know. Nothing witty, getting sassy. Good morning. Why does YouTube take so ding dang long to give me notifications? I don't know. They're nothing witty. YouTube's silly. So, anyways, these are my morning coffee thoughts. We're talking about trucks and warranties, and if you guys don't have anything else, we'll cut this short. Charles Brandt, what's up? It's only 50-50 coverage. You're right. Rising Phoenix, how's it going? Phoenix is my favorite bird. Never happy, nothing witty. So when you're purchasing a truck, it's all about the warranty. Whether it's new or used, it's all about the warranty. And know that the warranty is not a cure-all. I saw another brand new Freightliner on a hook at Field Island in Jackson, Tennessee. Look, guys, check it out. This guy's doing the ELD slow crawl. He parked in front of me. I bet you anything he's going to the fuel island. That is called ELD crawl, my friends. We've all done it. We've all done it. 4 miles an hour. Second gear. What part of Georgia? I'm in... Well, I'm not disclosing that. I don't want to be swatted next gen. That creep. Yeah, he's heading towards the fuel island. Good morning, Anna Thomas. RD Trucking, what's up? I just log out. I don't recommend that, Bandit. The only time I log out of my ELD is if I'm at the shop, and I'll put in the comments shop, and then after the truck's out of the shop, there's unassigned drive time. I call Jeff and he handles it. That's how you should do that. The less weird, suspicious, man, I can't talk, things on your ELD, the better. If I was running my own authority, personal conveyance would be to a minimum, which, you know, it is already, you know. I think I've used personal conveyance like 3 times in the last 2 years here at Like Trucking. And Schneider was the same way. One time I used personal conveyance at Schneider going to the shop, and I learned that that was a no-no. So, all right, next gen. Cool truck, what's up? You have full control. Let's see here. There you go, next gen. But the other thing I'll talk about with truck shopping is this. Do not, you're hearing like there's an overabundance of used trucks right now. There's an overabundance of equipment out there now because of the trucking companies that have gone out of business and the people that have traded up. And you would think they would be begging you to get these trucks off the lot, but they're not. Now, do you have a little bit of negotiating power? Yes. But do not expect these salespeople to bend over backwards for you. And it sucks because you're sitting there dealing with purchasing $40,000 to $140,000 vehicle. So you would think that they would be serving you tea and cookies at the entrance, and they're not. You'll be lucky to get a phone call back. You have to be a little aggressive. And the last good salesperson I dealt with retired 6 months after I bought this truck. And it sucks because you're making a major purchase. You're making a major decision. If you're a single owner operator, this is your livelihood. And it's just like, they're treating like you're buying shoes. That is a fact. Buying your first truck will be the biggest pain in your behind that you will ever face as a truck driver. The second one's not so bad. But do not expect them to bend over backwards. You got to be aggressive. And you want to expect a few things, like if they blow you off, or, if they whatever. If they're doing that, don't deal with them. But, or if you ask them, I need this and this, you don't do that, then yeah, don't deal with them. But, let's say you're looking at a truck, say an umbrella like MHC, and you see a truck in, say, Springfield, Missouri, if they're MHC, but you want to deal with the dealer in somewhere else, another MHC, you can deal with that dealer and they can just ship the truck there. But if the dealer in your local area, you don't like them, but you still want an MHC truck, then you can deal with somebody else that wants to deal with you all across the nation. That's the beauty of these umbrella groups. MHC, TLG, CIT, if you're into the PACCAR thing, Select Trucks, Freightliner. What's another one? Aero. If you're going really used, Aero Trucks. They got a network, and a lot of times you're going to be truck shopping through the websites. PACCAR Financial has their own dealerships. 4 of them. So, good morning, Big Rig CEO. I'm starting to cook in the truck again, Snow Alert. Oh yeah. Why'd you stop, Daniel? Silly. Rush, yeah, Rush. Thank you, Rush Peterbilt. Now I will say this about Rush. I once called Rush Truck Centers at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon when I had my Peterbilt. I was in Oklahoma City, wanting to know about a part. I literally had that phone on speaker and it rang for 15 minutes. 15 minutes. I never found that part. I didn't, it was only because I had the phone on speakerphone, I was multitasking, that I even had the patience to do that. But I've heard good things about Rush there in Tulsa, so. Got to get to CDL school, take care, be safe. All right, John, good luck to you. Competing with the boss on live stream and love it. No, I wasn't really competing, and Jeff sent a bunch of people to me, so I have no limits where PC is concerned. Try auctions. Go with your own bank loan. That's a good tactic, Little Bike Coach. And I do recommend that. Little Bike Coach has made a good point. If you've got a good relationship with your bank, ask if they do commercial bank loans. You could probably get a better percentage rate, interest rate, and don't just stick to in-house financing. ELD doesn't count if going backwards. So, Jack of all trades, just got notification. Yeah, YouTube's been weird with the notifications. There was a live feed I was anticipating last night, and it never happened. And I was thinking, man, is it because the person's not putting up the live feed like I thought he was, or was it because I'm not getting the notification? So, kind of sucks when that happens, because you're like constantly clicking on their channel to see if they've gone live yet. Oh, and then the new YouTube rules, you got to be careful. I think that's having. I think the notifications are slower because they're trying to see what you're talking about first, I think. So, Leslie, what's up? Oh, I'm no leader, man. I'm no leader. I'm in the field of my own thing. That's what I do. I want to give a shout out to Smart and Direct. I got my inverter that I won in the mail, and I just realized I have no idea where I'm going to put that sucker. And then I'm going to have to. It's pretty big. It's 2,000 watt. It's bulky. So most of the inverters I've had in my career have been behind the seat here, but because it's closest to the batteries that way. But we'll see. We'll see how. I gotta get it installed. Lots of online banks will put you in a better spot when you go to buy. Oh, and that Little Bike Coach, thanks for reminding me. So I was talking about this with my wife last night. Roscoe was talking about how many credit cards he had, and I rely on credit cards a lot of times too for my repairs. But a couple of friends have told me. Well, okay, let me rephrase that. Roscoe does not rely on credit cards. He has credit cards. I do a little bit of both. Okay, Roscoe's managing his business very well, so let's just put that out there. But the credit card number that he's put in his live feed the other day, he was talking about allocating the money and all that, right? Now, the 0% credit cards, you have to be real careful with, because one late payment, one small mishap, and it goes back to their main interest rate. So what a friend of mine recommended to me is, if, let's say, I blow my turbo today, so I'm at Kenworth, and they're like, you're going to have about 10 grand. Best thing I can do, one of the options that you have, is call your bank and say, hey, look, I'm making a huge purchase. What kind of percentage rate can you give me? And if you got a credit card through that bank, maybe they can make a deal. So maybe they can do like a 4% or 3% with no repercussions, right? That option is there. There's also pamphlets of places that will finance that repair for you. Their pamphlets are usually there in the waiting room. So when you have a huge repair like that, you have options if your credit is good. And that's why when people ask me, should I become an owner operator, Steve? The first question I will ask is, what's your credit score? Because even if you have 100 grand in the bank, or unless you have 100 grand in the bank, if you got a horrible credit score, it's still going to be hard for certain things. Your insurance is going to be higher, for one, right? taking care of your credit, I recommend a Credit Karma or similar app. A lot of credit card companies have their own, and what it'll do is it'll kind of help you strategize of how to increase your credit score and how to repair your credit. It'll give you strategies on how to do that, and it's not what you think. A credit score can go from 800 to 700 simply because you don't have enough accounts open. So if all your cars are paid off and your house is halfway paid off and you don't have any other loans, like no car loans, no, they actually it will increase your credit score. If like right now, I can increase my credit score by like 40 or 50 points just by going out and get a car loan. And that's crazy if you think about it. Credit's a weird deal, but it's vital in running any business, not just trucking, any business. There you go. Get a secured credit card and use it to help build your score. There are many resources out there that will help you build your credit. Can you make any money at Landstar? Is it about the same money at Schneider? Does Landstar work off the spot market? Part of Landstar's platform is off the spot market because you have the third party, what we call pajama agents, and they will take a load from C.H. Robinson and then put it on the Landstar load board. So the rates are actually lower than the spot market when they do that because Landstar's got to get their cut. It depends what your goals are, Don. If you eventually want to get your own authority, Landstar can be a good move because it'll teach you how to do the things that you don't have to worry about at Schneider, such as negotiating, talking with the brokers, making phone calls, dealing with rate cons, and things of that nature. But just know that your platform's different. It's really Monday through Friday. It's hard to find loads and book loads in the weekends. There's not as much drop and hook, and you definitely don't want to drop on the delivery end in Laredo. Your Landstar corporate will tell you that. So it's with the $1,600 a month truck note, I think you can do well. The best way to do Landstar, in my opinion, is to find the agents that have the direct freight and own your own trailer, because that way you're getting 73%. That would be the way I would go to Landstar. You do miss out on some drop and hook, but again, it's if you rely on the drop and hook a lot at Schneider and the short hops to build something up at the end of the week, then Landstar will not be a good fit. Landstar was a good fit for me because it was more consistent. The rate per mile was the same, but the consistency was better at Schneider for me, for my area. That's the other part. What region are you working in? So I know I make fun of Landstar at times. I'm not going to bash them, but they have opportunity there. It just depends on your mindset and what you're looking to get out of it. So I have credit one and I put my down on it and then I pay it out at the end of the month. There you go. Find a gym with pool. Les, just got back from my morning swim. Refinancing for lower payment also helps. Right. Thank you, Don. I appreciate that. Credit score should really be called debt score. That's not true, RD. I know people that have almost no debt that have an 800 credit score. So that's not always true. Everything is negotiable. They love loaning money, right? Under bunk, next to bunk, HVAC unit, remote on and off button. Okay. Appreciate that, RD. That's where mine is. There was a YouTuber, he doesn't do YouTube anymore, but he had his on this cabinet above his head. He had this big yellow box above his head. Man, that must get noisy with the fan right there and everything. So, yes, lack of credit's a real thing. I have that problem. I only have 5 accounts. It's not easy to get that number up. You have a 650 now? Right. And I'm not saying that you can't get a truck. It's just here's how it is. It used to be back in the old days that if you had bad credit, you can get a car loan. couldn't get a house loan, no one to give me anything, right? But then some genius said, you know what? Let's give this bad credit person a loan, like a car loan, and we'll charge them an extraordinary amount on the financing end, and we'll make our money regardless of whether the guy finishes the payments or not, right? So Springfield was inundated with 25 a week car loan places, right? So you end up paying $4,000 for a $1,000 car. So after so many months payments, it paid for the car, which they paid nothing for. And if you give the car back, no big deal. They fix it up a little bit and sell it, you know, just like the rent-a-center type places. You know, by the time you finish the term on that rent-to-own thing, you've paid for that like 5 times, right? And so someone figured out we can take bad credit and make money off of it. Now, is there more risk? Yeah, but the extraordinary amount profit margin off that risk makes it worth it. So there's that in the trucking world. I know people are paying way more a month for their trailer than I am because their credit score was a lot lower than mine. The higher, the lower your credit score, the more they're going to want down for the truck. You might get away with 10% down on the truck, but if you've got a 500 credit score and they will give you a loan, you're going to have to put like 25 to 45% down on that truck. That's why I don't recommend having bad credit. You can't even get a new truck if you got bad credit. Let's just put that out there right now. Unless you go through Schneider Finance or Prime Leasing or something like that. And even then, you know, think Schneider Finance is going to say yes to everybody. They don't. There are people that they turn down. So, you know, if you've got, let's say you got money in the bank and you got horrible credit, and so you go through Schneider Finance, sign on there with their truck, use that 3-year note, that 3-year lease, use that to repair your credit, okay? And you can't just do it through the truck payments alone. You gotta, you know, get a secured credit card, pay it off every month, you know, or leave a little bit on. Like if you put $200 phone bill on it, pay $150 a month on it, have a small balance on it at all times, right? And do what you can to minimize the interest rate. That will repair your credit quite a bit. And so by the end of the 3-year note, when you go to do the buyout for the truck, you can either go to your bank and go through a bank loan, or Schneider Finance will finance the balloon payment, but then you're still looking at the same amount of, you know, the same high payments, you know, for the next, you know, 2 years after that, I think. I don't know the exact math. Again, I'm not a Schneider Finance guy, but like Daniel Adami, he's got 1 year on that lease of his truck. If you got 1 year lease, you got less time to get your credit act together, or else you're going to be under the balloon payment, under that high payment for the remainder of the truck, which is possible at Schneider. So set up automatic payments. There you go. LBC. Easy to raise credit score. Take out $500 loan from multiple credit unions. They will report the payment history. There you go. Seems like no matter what your credit score is, first-time truck buyers are paying high interest. Team Tiny, that is absolutely correct. You're looking anywhere between 15 to 20% on your first truck. If you get lower than that, congratulations, you're one of the few that have been able to do that. My first truck loan was 13, and I believe, and that's with an 800 credit score, people. And my second loan for this truck was 10. So Just don't spend the money. Right. So you take a $500 loan out and use that $500 to pay back the loan. Always uses what you said. Okay, nothing when he said something. So let me read that first. I only have 5 accounts. My credit's really good. I don't think the number of accounts has a huge impact compared to factors like paying on time. Absolutely correct. Nothing witty. True, nothing witty, but using one of them lines changed the score a lot. That's why I want more lines or higher lines. Old business practices and common sense are gone. It's all about how you manipulate the numbers. Business and credit manipulation is how you survive these days. You can have the worst income, but if you know how to do the numbers, you can do well with it. One of the biggest problems with credit companies and credit reporting agencies is that credit companies can close your account without you closing the account, and that will affect your credit. That is true, Les. I have 5 credit cards. I only use 2. The other pushes my score up. 1/3 of your score is based off of using credit cards, so my open credit is to offset my usage. I don't do auto pay because my money may not be in that on that day. In your first right lane, good deal. And that, you know, there are other factors too. If you are if you got a low credit score, if you have low experience, if a guy that's had a CDL for 10 years goes in to buy the same truck as a guy that has 1 year of CDL experience, the guy with the 10 years is going to get a better interest rate because you're less of a risk. The more experience you have, your insurance quote will be the same way. Okay, I already read that. So we're keeping an eye on the time. Anyways, I put up a new cooking video last night. You can comment on it now. I've got a video about how to deal with sweet cravings coming up. It's in the phone. Just have to upload it. Diet's still doing well, or not diet. My eating lifestyle is still doing well. The turkey came out amazing. It was really good. I'm gonna have to do that more often. Turkey is a cleaner meat than chicken. So I do auto pay, so I don't forget to pay it. Right. So if you have, say, $100 minimum payment on a credit card, you can fix auto pay to pay it, you know, so many days before the due date, and know that that will always happen. And then, you know, you pay extra after that. SFI wanted 3 down on my 680 till they saw 800 credit score. That's Smoothie brings up a great point. The lower your credit score, the less money down you will need on SFI trucks. Right lane. I keep a bag of Oreos to deal with cravings. Man, Oreos, man, make your teeth all black and gross, and it's gross. Unless you're getting the white Oreos. I have a cooking video. It's in the editing phase right now. Chucky can tell you I did one when he was my cameraman. Daniel, what are you doing over there, man? I look forward to your cooking video, Daniel, because I believe you're on a health journey as well. And Daniel's cooking to save money too. So cooking in the truck could definitely save you some money, for sure, and also feel better. You know, last year I had to go to the doctor because I wasn't feeling right. And all the keto haters were like, oh, it's the keto thing, oh my God, you know. And turns out it was probably dehydration, but then started reading up, started feeling like that again last month. And I was reading that a lot of MSG is bad. And hot dogs and sausage and all that stuff is really bad for you in that regards. There's a lot of that stuff in that. You know, I was eating a lot of that because I was doing the dirty keto thing because I had not planned my grocery shopping very well, and it was about this time last year I was doing the same exact thing and felt the same way. So once I cleaned up the diet, I feel better than I have in a couple of months, to be honest with you. And I was back to losing weight again. So I didn't even see what comment was deleted there. Anyways. Alright, I'm gonna get off here. Is Jeff still live on this channel? Let's take a look here. Yep, Jeff is still live. So everybody go check out that. And Big Rig Radio Network, go check that out. And I appreciate everybody coming in here. He's not live? Oh, I guess he's not. Yeah, that's right. Never mind. Don't do that. I mean, go watch this video, if that interests you. But I guess in the future I'll just make sure I'm not doing my morning coffee live when I know he's doing the spot market money thing. So. Clark, what's up? What is dirty keto? That's when you eat basically a low carb. Doesn't matter what you're eating. You're not paying attention to fillers or to soy or to a lot of stuff that's kind of bad for you anyways. You want to replace junk with junk. So dirty keto gets you into a ketosis state or a fat burning state. With having to go like the clean meat and vegetables, so Baxter Springs, Kansas is right outside of Joplin there, just north of Joplin. Like you literally get off at exit 1, go straight north and you'll run into it. Yeah, more processed foods. The light coach is right. More processed foods. Well, Les, I got to work sometime. Then Elian is late. Freight okay? Yeah, Joplin's a good market. You got Joplin, Springfield, Neosho. So it's a good spot. Cool Truckin' says, thanks for the info, dude. Be safe. By the way, I'm doing alternate day fasting with keto. Lost 18 in 2 weeks. Good luck. Awesome, Cool Truckin'. Good deal. Yeah, Cool Truckin'. If you're new to my channel, I've lost over 100 pounds doing this. So, but it's not about the weight loss. It's about feeling good. And, Dr. Burt just put up a video about stress and how that can interfere with your health journey. And because of the cortisol, and as truck drivers, we're always under some kind of stress. Whether it's a low level, it's like a low hum that you're always hearing. It's kind of like that. Especially depending on where you run, and what you're dealing with. If you're running downtown Bronx, all the time, you're probably a little more stressed than the guy that's running, Kansas. But either way, you're still got that little hum, so that affects your hormones, that affects your ability to your body's stress is probably the number one of the top reasons why truck drivers can be in bad health. It's a stressful job. Even if you don't think it's stressful, there's still the stress of making sure you're not taking out that retaining wall when you make that turn into the shipper. You know that there's a level, you got to be on your guard at all times. You know, car you can kind of blank out a little bit, but truck not so much. Thank you, Jack. If I could get my metabolism rate to slow down, I might actually gain a little weight. Nittany Lion, 100 pounds plus 5 pound beard growth equals right? So Bovine Coach will do a video on fermented foods. That'd be kind of cool because I do eat a lot of kimchi. But I like to know what other fermented foods are out there besides kimchi. I mean, I love kimchi, but the probiotics is really important. Gut health is really important, as talked about in Carol Burns' book. Okay. Yeah, that was a plug for her. But gut health is huge on dealing with stress and everything. I mean, gut health is probably the most important thing, and a lot of these processed foods destroy your gut health. I've kind of seen it firsthand. So, pickled pig feet, pickled pig feet. Say that 5 times fast. Or fermented. I've never had that. That's one of the few foods I've never had. South Georgia Indian Rider. So, what is your second brain? I believe that. Bovine Coach, you ought to check out Gut Instinct. It's probably all stuff that you already know, because I know you do your research and homework and stuff when you're not making videos. So, anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Hit the thumbs up if you liked it. Hit the thumbs down if you didn't like it. Hit it twice, as a matter of fact. Hit that thumbs down twice. And I appreciate you guys hanging out with me while I have my morning coffee. And, it's all about attitude and consistency. So, anyways, guys, have a great day. Be safe out there. Be good to each other. And live and let live. Come on. See you.